Alrighty, hey there Scorpio. It is time to do a reading for your general energies for the month of September 2026. Before I get started, this is the part that I kind of forgot at the beginning of Pisces video, which will probably be uploaded at the same time as yours. There are some major celestial events that are going to be happening in September to keep in mind with this reading. So on September 10th / the 11th, there is going to be a new moon, and then on the 22nd to the 23rd, we are going to be celebrating Mabon, which is the autumn equinox. So it's going to be the time where day and night are perfectly balanced. It is also going to be the second harvest, as Lunasa is the first harvest. There's also going to be an opposition at Neptune at opposition on September 25th, and then on the 26th we're going to have a full moon, and that's going to be our harvest moon. But anyways, let's get into your reading. Let's see what's going on for you for the month of September. We're just going to draw 6 cards, and then after that I'm going to draw on what are going to be your challenges for the month, and then what are your opportunities going to be, and then I will be using the Simplicity Lenormand to kind of, ask like what is the overall outcome going to be for the month of September. Okay, got this one. Well, okay, I'll leave you since you wanted to be attached to the hip with that one. Okay. Oop. Okay, I have 2 more, universe. I'm going to be going on for Scorpio. Okay. One more. Okay, Scorpio, you got Death, which is actually your card, which is pretty interesting. The 7 of Cups, the Hanged Man, the 6 of Wands, the King of Cups, and then you got an extra card, which is the 7 of Wands. Okay, interesting. Since there is an extra card, maybe there is something like unexpected that is going to be happening in your life, something that like kind of pops up. But Death is showing up here as like not only you, but it's usually like some sort of like transformation. What I find interesting is there's a lot of, well, there is a card of like hidden meaning, and that is the moon. The moon kind of obscures what we're seeing because it's like everything is cloaked in darkness and you're trying to like find your way in this darkness. So maybe like outcomes during the month of September, whether that is like a career goal or a relationship goal or like some other kind of goal, it might be clouded, especially with the 7 of Pentacles, because the 7 of Pentacles represents the option of choice. So you could pick a good cup, you could pick a bad cup, but at the end of the day, you don't know what's going to be in that cup. So I'm seeing that like the moon, the 7 of Cups, and the Hangman indicate that like maybe you should be dialing back your need. Well, you should let the universe decide, essentially, moving forward on what's going to be best for you. I know sometimes like that's hard, feeling like you need to like control things and then letting go of that control. But I say this because the King of Cups is here, and I feel like through doing that, you'll become like a more balanced person. The one thing to note about the King of Cups is that he is sitting on literally just like a block in the middle of the ocean, and he is like perfectly balanced, and he is riding the waves and like going with the flow, especially because at the end of the day you have the Victory card. So even though there might be like challenges signaled by the 7 of Wands, like some sort of competition and everything, I think the universe is just letting you know that like you have everything that you need, and you don't need to be reacting or choosing things out of like fear or like necessity, and just allowing the universe to like help you, and things to flow around you will enable you to be victorious in this situation. I just kind of want to clarify this, like, Seven of Wands situation if I can. Mostly because I want to know what this, like, competition or, like what this aspect is signaling in your life. And we'll see if the cards even tell me because of the moon card here. So can I get, like, clarification on the Seven of Wands for Scorpio, please? Ooh. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I want to note that, like, clarification on this is the King of Cups, which you already have over here. So when I initially read this King of Cups, I thought this is you, and I still think this coming out is you. It's accompanied by the Ten of Swords card, so something might be ending for you. Because of, like, this competition. And so the interesting thing about the Ten of Swords is that he is lying on the ground, but his hands are making the symbol for blessing. So at the end of the day, like, something ended so that a new blessing could begin. And I see this as, like, there maybe something that's going on that might be, like, really stressful, but then that is coming towards an end, and the universe is saying that you really need to make sure that, like, you, like I said before, are balanced and going with the flow in order to be able to adapt with this. And I think the Ten of Swords really leans well into your card, the Death card, which is literally, like, the epitome of, like, transformation. Okay, well, let's look into what your main challenge is going to be for the month of September. And the thing is, it might be, it could definitely be, like, similar messages that, like, the universe is, like, reading over and over again, but it could also be something that's, like, in more detail. So what are the challenges going to be for Scorpio in the month of September? Oh, I have 6 cards, please. Ooh, okay. Okay, and once again, 7 cards came out. It could also be that the number, you know, like the angel numbers, like 777 is your lucky number, or it might be your lucky number for this month. So, we have the Knight of Wands. Oh, actually, no. I don't know why I was thinking 7. Never mind. I mean, either way, like, it could be, like, if it resonated with you, like, the number 7 is a good number for you, then, like, take it. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Maybe that is, like, a message for someone else. But what's interesting here is that there is a Knight of Wands and a Queen of Wands, but there's also a Nine of Cups and a Ten of Cups. So in a way, this almost reads like something is leveling up. I think what the challenge is definitely going to involve, like, other people. And the reason why I say that is because you have the Seven of Swords here, which represents kind of like deception. He is stealing those swords and like cleverly going behind enemy lines to take their weapon so that they cannot defend themselves. There's that, but then there's also the Five of Swords, which is victory, but, like, at what cost? So maybe this competition aspect is, like, a coworker who's, like, doing something sneaky, and then, you have to go through the challenge of proving that, hey, this coworker is lying or, like, doing those things, but then ultimately it represents a victory. It may be, like, there may be, like, strife or, like, a challenge that you might have to, like, face, but then ultimately, like, it shows that you are being victorious at the very end. Especially with the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is, like, self-satisfaction, and then the Ten of Cups is, like, a wish fulfillment. The reason why I'm, like, honing in on another person is because I'm getting, like, more so a negative energy from the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands. So this may be like a person who is very like, I want the attention, I want everything on me. Like, it's kind of like one of those coworkers who is a personality hire. So like, they don't really do the work, or they're just there because like they make small talk with other people, and then they want the attention of other people, and sometimes that can feel like energy draining, like an energetic vampire almost. And that's what I'm reading like off of these cards, which I know is like a little bit unusual. I think it's just the attention aspect of the wands and like the people within the wands that like I'm picking up on. But at the end of the day too, like, the Queen of Wands can also partially represent you. She has a black cat in front of her, which black cats were considered to be bad luck. But the Queen of Wands kind of signals, you know what, like, I don't care about that. Like, I'm going to continue, like, being myself, and I love this black cat, and this black cat is always going to be with me. So it's kind of like showing your resolve of, like, not conforming to things that other people may be trying to push onto you. So I think your main challenge is going to be dealing with other people this month. But ultimately it shows that like you're victorious. So let's see what opportunities you're going to be going through this month. Or what opportunities are going to show up this month for you. So what opportunities are going to show up for Scorpio? Ooh. One card, please. 6 cards. You are slinky. Ooh. Okay. 3 more cards here. I get 3 cards. Oh, whoops. I mean, I guess that is 3. Okay, perfect. So I'll put this down here. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So there is definitely going to be a new beginning here, especially with the Fool. I'm seeing you represented by the King of Pentacles, well, I see you represented by the King of Pentacles because, like, the King of Pentacles is, like, a stable person. Like, he is comfortable within his garden. He's not gonna necessarily, like, go out and overexert himself. He represents, like, the abundance that you, have around you. I'm sorry, I'm trying to move it out of the glare, but, he is like the ultimate form of abundance. The only kind of like downside to the King of Pentacles is he's very slow moving, but that also could be a good thing. So it's taking your time to be cautious when making decisions, when moving forward. And I think that paired with the 2 of Wands means that like there's going to be an opportunity to be able to plan something that is going to bring you success. So the 2 of Wands, he has the like globe in his hand. He has everything that he needs. He just needs to be able to like set out and outline a plan of something that is going to work for him. The 6 of Pentacles shows generosity, so you might be receiving generosity from other people in your life. They might recognize that, you know, you have been working hard, and with this planning stage, they might see that from you and provide you generosity. You could also be very generous yourself, and because you give, that could also give back to you in many other aspects. With this new beginning, there is the 2 of Cups here, which is interesting. So there could be a new relationship coming in. The only thing is I see these cards connected and then I see these connected. So it's just, I think, emphasis on staying away from like toxic people or toxic environments. I will clarify on this 2 of Cups to just see what it means. Like maybe if it's a new partnership, like who is this new partnership going to be with? Is it or is it like more work related? It could, I mean, it could be either or. it represents like collaboration. So can you clarify? Ooh, now that came out quick. Okay. So you have the Four of Cups and the High Priestess. Okay, so this potential like new relationship is something that you are not seeing at the forefront in your life, but it reminds me of how, if you ever read like any love readings or like tarot card love readings, they'll always say that like sometimes your higher self and this other person are already connected before you even meet. And that's the kind of energy that I'm getting off of the High Priestess. So it's kind of like you're becoming the person who is going to be ready for this relationship, even though you might not see them yet or you might not meet them yet. But yeah, that is really interesting. Let me open up the Lenormand and see overall like what your outcome for this month is going to be. And I will be using the guidebook as I'm still learning how to read the Lenormand cards. So what is the outcome for Scorpio for the month of September 2026? Three cards. So what is the outcome going to be for the month of September 2026? Oop. One more. Ooh, okay, interesting. So we have the Rider, which represents news, the Moon, recognition, and then the Ring, which is commitment, which, looking at the Two of Cups, it looks like there is a committed relationship, perhaps. But let's go through each of the cards and see how they connect to each other. So the first card that you got is the Rider, which means news, messages, movement, messenger, communication, a visitor. Pleasant news will always find you if you seek it. The Rider in the Lenormand indicates the end of a waiting or stagnation period. It's a card of action and movement. It also represents news, the arrival of a message from afar, or even a moving vehicle. When the Rider appears in a reading, something or someone is coming to you. And then it doesn't look like it has any combinations with these other two cards, but we'll go to the Ring next because it's the next in line numerically. So the Ring represents commitments, marriage, engagement, contracts, binding or bound, a ring, going in circles, doing something cyclical. A person committed to their dreams is unstoppable force bound to succeed. The Ring in Lenormand represents anything you pledge your devotion to, such as business, relationship, marriage, or passion. It also describes things that are legally binding or that are binding legally or not. The Ring can describe something circular or shaped like a ring. Because the rings are circles, this card can mean doing something repetitively or in a loop or a cycle. Regarding romance, the Ring card can mean that a marriage proposal is near or a relationship with a married person. Yeah, and it doesn't have a connection to the other two on this one. Okay, 32, Moon. Recognition, fame, thoughts, subconscious, night, emotions, feelings, imagination, dreaming, intuition, depth, intangible, the mind, beauty, attraction, attention, entertainment. One thing to note that I find interesting is that the Moon card in the Lenormand is very different from the Moon card in the Tarot. So rather than it representing something that's hidden, it actually represents something that like light is being shown on. So it says here, the Moon in the Lenormand can be confusing at first because it's versatile. On one hand, the Moon can represent all intangible things that you can sense but not touch, taste, or see. This card represents the things that we think about but don't speak aloud. These might include our deepest thoughts, emotions, dreams, imagination, and intuition. On the other hand, the Moon can represent things we want, such as recognition, attraction, attention, beauty, creativity, entertainment, or romance. Sorry, I was out of breath for a minute. So I'm seeing here, there is going to be good news related to a relationship, or even like a work contract. Combining these cards together, the Lenormand is very literal, so it shows that like there is somebody who recognizes like your capability and your traits and is gonna send you an offer, whether that is like an offer of a relationship or it's like a career offer. But honestly, like, your rating is pretty good, Scorpio. Um, so without further ado, that'll be your reading for September.